Avi Meyer's Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Check all our videos from the last 8 years, over 1,000 of them on the web, ntnm.org, Community Policing Caps24.org. Thank you to the men and women of the 24th District for the terrific job that they're doing, albeit a little short-handed, but they really are busting their whatevers to get things done. I've told so many of you so often, I love Facebook. It's a great place to find new people. We had Joe Dusek on, who's a professor of statistics at Triton, came on the show, and my next guest, said, hey, I want to be on that show. And we're Facebook friends now. And guess what? Within a month, he's on the show. I'd like to introduce you to Mark Weyermuller. How are you?
Thanks for having me on the show. This is exciting. I don't do a lot of TV, so this is kind of a first for me, but
Cool.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a father of three. I live in Wilmette. I work for a small real estate business, and I have some time, so I go to a lot of political events, and I'm kind of a student of public policy. And I am writing a little bit on a publication called Illinois Review, illinoisreview.com. And for the last few weeks, I've been doing about a 12-minute segment on WLS Radio on the Stephanie Trussell Show, Sunday nights 9 to midnight. I'm usually on about 10:31 if you want to hear me. And my segment is called The Man on the Street. So I just talk about going to political events, and I can tell you what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. It's kind of fun.
What have you been doing the last couple of weeks?
Well, I've met a bunch of presidential candidates. I've seen Donald Trump, Marco Rubio, and Scott Walker, and I managed to get a selfie with all three of them, which is kind of fun.
Cool. No, I've seen your selfies on YouTube. That's for sure. I'm not on YouTube. On Facebook. I'm sorry. So no, as a matter of fact, somebody was even joking about them. So were you able to actually speak to them at length, or?
You get your elevator conversation, maybe 20 seconds, if that. Donald Trump had 8 large bodyguards with him, so I was concerned. I didn't want to be tackled or arrested or anything, and he was walking by. This was at the City Club of Chicago that has a lot of public policy lunches. And I said, Mr. Trump, can I take a picture? And he said, oh, sure, sure. And I took a quick picture, and that was it. And
are you taller than him?
I don't know. I'm guilty. I was looking at his hair the whole time, which was...
That's exactly what I was going to ask you about. I wanted to know if it was roadkill.
You can look at the picture on my Facebook page and determine for yourself. But he was very impressive at the City Club, and he made a lot of headlines, and I can see why people like him.
No, listen, he knows what he's doing. I was talking with Sonny earlier. People, the McLaughlin group about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Eleanor Cliff came on. This couldn't be more than a couple of shows ago. Eleanor Cliff came on and talked about how much money he's going to lose, that this station dropped the show and this company cut his product. And that was the predictions at the end of the show. And then Mort Zuckerman, who is the billionaire on the panel and the businessman, with things like U.S. News and World Report and the New York Post, among other things, actually changed his prediction. I don't know what it was going to be before, but he said, no, he's going to make money. He wants a lot of attention. He's getting it. He knows exactly what he's doing. Be it right, be it wrong. I think he knows there's no way in hell he's going to win, but he certainly has the country's attention right now like he's never had before.
Oh, it's very exciting. I know Macy's dropped him, but if you follow a lot of the blogs and stuff, there was a reverse boycott of Macy's. So I'm not sure if this is a good move for them to do this, because they probably will lose business from the half of the country that votes conservative. Yeah. So a lot of times it's just, I'm not sure about these boycotts.
No, the truth is that even though he really angered a tremendous number of people, the reverse of that is nothing's 100%. And that's why he's sitting first and second in polls right now, because there's enough people reacting to those who are hating him that are going, I like this guy. Now, granted, this is way early and none of these polls mean anything yet. The first vote hasn't even dropped in Iowa yet for the straw polls, so things are going to change along those lines. So you're enjoying all the media stuff?
Oh, yeah, it's fun. I got to see Scott Walker at his kickoff the other day, 4,000 people there. Keep in mind, he's up in Iowa, supposedly 18 points, way ahead of Jeb Bush, way ahead of Donald Trump. So when you see these polls and stuff, some of these are New Hampshire, and I'm not sure what's going on there. But Scott Walker seems to be the one who's really got some major momentum going.
Well, first of all, I really think he's got a terrific chance. Besides for the fact that he's won 3 elections in 5 years in a blue state in Wisconsin, and that includes the recall vote, he has the ability to get people to work together on both sides of the aisle. And that is something that is such a crucial thing I can't even begin to tell you.
Yeah, well, he's a genuinely nice guy. He did the announcement near Milwaukee, and I believe it was Waukesha, and he went around, basically shook hands with 4,000 people. I'd say he shook hands with almost all 4,000 people and took pictures, signed autographs. Sean Hannity did his show on Fox News right after that, so a lot of people stayed around and watched that. And it was just a fun event. He was very genuine. I took about 300 pictures. I'll be posting on my Facebook page. If you want to see a lot of pictures of Scott Walker, just follow my page.
Yeah, well, his name's under the title, so you'll be able to see it. You know, it's interesting because he actually has negative worth, which makes him more like a normal human being than anybody else. And I was reading the other day about how his wife taught him how to shop at Kohl's and what to do and what to buy.
Oh, yeah. He's a big coupon guy.
So am I. My mother kind of broke that into my head early on.
Well, one reason I'm hoping he gets elected is I rode an elevator with him a few months ago. So I'll be able to tell my elevator story. I was at an event, and he was going on the elevator, and I just jumped on right with him. It was just the governor, me, and 2 state troopers. And it was 20 stories up. I was like, well, what should I talk to him about? And this was right about the time that guy rode the elevator with Obama and got in trouble.
Oh, wow.
So I said, so Governor, how was the traffic on the Kennedy? And he, oh boy, it was a huge conversation. He goes, I can't believe how terrible the Kennedy is. And he goes, do you think it's Rahm Emanuel's fault? And I said, well, it probably is.
Yeah, I listen to everything is Rahm Emanuel's fault. There's no question about it.
So I saw Marco Rubio this past week, so that's another candidate. He's coming back to town, as is Rand Paul is coming next, I think in a week or two, and Ben Carson and Mike Huckabee. So all these guys are coming to Chicago. There's a lot of money here, and there's a lot of people here, and there's a lot of media here, and these guys are all, if you want to see them, they're around.
Yeah, even though this city is blue, you know, is Democratic country beyond belief in terms of the voting. An awful lot of the rich guys who are supporting the Democrats are really Republicans.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, there's a lot of people that are Democrats locally but Republicans nationally. You know, so there's definitely a lot of money around there.
The Jeb Bush people are that way. I was a guest at a Jeb Bush event, which are very expensive. So I did manage to get a selfie with Jeb Bush, too. He is actually a pretty nice guy. He was this regular guy. I was kind of nervous about asking him, and we were kind of like going out the hallway the same way. And I said, can I take a quick picture? He's like, oh, sure, let's take a picture.
Yeah, it should have been him in 2000 and not George, but that's a whole different story. But in any event, we're about to wrap things up. So first of all, you're all over Facebook, so people can friend you on Facebook, and that way they'll get to see. Yeah, there's an awful lot of interesting pictures. You seem to be around an awful lot of famous people, period.
Well, I take a lot of pictures, and if I see somebody, I got a picture last year with Wayne Newton at a Cubs game, which was pretty cool. I go to a lot of Cubs games. If you want to spot me, I'm also out on Waveland sometimes. Sometimes I'm out catching baseballs outside the park. So I do a lot of different things.
Very good. At this point, I really got to cut you off. Mark Weyermuller, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me on.
In your endeavors.